Take Alec Padamsee, the original vagabond, who's credited with revolutionizing Indian advertising. The man who made Lirul's Bikini Girl and Surf's Lalita Ji and so many others. Piyush Pandey, who's lived many lifetimes in this one life. Started as a tea taster, good, excellent cricketer, Ranji Trophy professional, I mean amazing, and now head of O&M. You've seen, of course, his brilliant Favicol ads, absolutely amazing. Prahlad Kakkar, now, how do you describe him? Irreverent? That's not strong enough, but I think that's a word that gets close. The original ad hatter, people call him. Filmmaker, scuba diver, cigar manufacturer, jazz man, he does it all. And he does what he wants and doesn't care what anyone else thinks. And then there's the young genius amongst all of us, Prasoon Joshi, who's coined so many brilliant phrases and so many memorable ads. I've worked with him, so I'm very biased. Songwriter, dialogue writer, and so much more. He also does whatever he wants, and if anybody criticizes him, his attitude is, frankly, I don't give a damn. He's simply a star. Gentlemen, can I just start this show? 60 years. What are the key factors that have changed in advertising that reflect our society?
Well, that reflect our society, I'd say from a very conservative side. I joined advertising in the late 50s, so I have some perspective on that. And I'd say that by and large at that time, advertising was a copywriter and a visualizer sitting in a room thinking up crazy ideas and putting them into ads. As we went into the 60s and 70s, it began to be a little more professional, a little more disciplined. And finally, when we came to the 80s, I think creativity, but not creativity in the sense of making funny ads, but going into depth in the products to see what the products could actually deliver and then dressing them up, doing that creative leap to really exciting different advertising.
So what you describe is kind of a transition from an amateur creative person to a professional creative person. Is that the change?
I think so. But the one change that I've noticed, and I'd love to share it with my colleagues here, is that advertising today in the new millennium, I might say, started in the 90s, is now, I find, the heavy shadow of multinationalism sort of, beginning to fall across Indian advertising.
And does that bring in a kind of uniformity and a bit of...
brings in a sort of, say, you will not be that creative, you'll be creative up to the point we say you will.
Won't take too many risks.
I don't think, anyone here would say that they could put the little girl in 1975 in a bikini. Can you put anyone in a bikini today? I mean,
no,
come on.
I don't think you had ASCII at that point in time. We do. We can't even put people into underwears. Forget about bikinis.
ASCII is the watchdog body that puts you in chains.
Council. It does.
Standards Council of India,
my personal opinion about that one, Alec, is it's not so true. In fact, today's multinational is liberating you a lot more than the way we were curbed in the 80s. Today, if you look at what Prasoon's been able to do with Coca-Cola, or
what has Prasoon been able to do with Coca-Cola except actually having to toe the line? Come on, Prasoon.
No, that's not true.
What happened to Thanda Matlab Coca-Cola?
See, that was a brilliant line.
Brilliant, I agree with you.
I mean,
and ask him what happened to it.
Transformational.
So what he's saying is that also true that when you have control at many levels for multinational, in some of the companies and some of the people who are empowered, you get better results because your immediate Indian counterpart here is actually very much empowered. In some cases, they're not. In some cases, they are reporting all the time to their head offices.
Atlanta
and to explain to them what Indian culture is all about and what kind of humor we like.
Right.
Because we also have a great history of advertising. I at times feel, people say advertising came from the West. But I think, we had a poet, a famous poet. His name is Nazir Akbarabadi. Now, he was in Agra. And he used to take money, or not take money, I don't know, but he used to write for the hawkers, poems for the hawkers. The guy will come in the morning, he'll say, I am selling jamuns. Can you give me a poem for that? And he'll write a poem and give it to him. He was a
Which is an
copywriter.
ad, yes.
He was the copywriter, an age-old copywriter. So I think advertising actually is, and people sitting out there think at times that advertising should be taught to us by those people. So when that starts happening,
then you start getting constrained.
So then it's sort of...
It's a two hands to clap. Partly they and partly we accept the kind of leadership in it and we succumb, which we should not, you say.